it would have been destroyed in the tiny little bit of rain that we had. So we decided not to put it out, and we're glad you guys all found it.
Yes. Sure.
Thank you.
All right, let's get started. Thank you guys for coming in the pouring down rain. Okay, it's not really pouring down. It's not really.
It might be as we're done.
Yes, this harsh Arizona weather.
Yes.
We'll go ahead and let George talk first, and then we'll do our PTO stuff.
So I want to thank the PTO members and for the cows, the computers on wheels. Thanks to that, we've been able to implement our first grade team with the online portion of the new math curriculum. And so they're knee deep in that stuff right now, and so we greatly appreciate that.
You guys are calling them cows?
That's what I call it.
That's adorable.
At the hospital, we had to stop calling them cows.
Oh, no.
We had to call wows workstations.
Right.
That's awesome. I
I'm
think
gonna give them cow names like Bessie.
I love it.
Yeah, so we do appreciate that, so thank you so much. As you know, we just, a few weeks ago, maybe like a week ago, we had the letter grades come out, and we were once again at a school, which is amazing. A large portion of that is kind of us working together as a school, staff members, the parent community, administration, and one of the things that I focused on literally from day one was, yeah, we're 18, but, you know, like, what's the next steps? Because there's room for growth. And so while we are a school, my focus is on shoring that up and seeing if we can't continue to climb the ladder. I told staff, as of right now, we're actually ranked 3rd based on those proficiency scores to 2 other elementary schools within our district. And so my goal, obviously, would be to be at the top of that list. And so we talked about how we're going to get to that point. One of the things with that is kind of doing an in-depth data dive and focusing on specific groups of students who traditionally maybe get overlooked when we start to look at you know, what kinds of things we're putting in place. Typically, we service students who are the lowest of the lows, and we try to throw everything at them, and we sometimes overlook what I would call yellow zone kids, or kids who are near proficient. They're close to the mark, but they haven't quite gotten to that place yet. And so we're putting a real big push on them this year. And so I'm interested to see how that turns out next year, but I feel good about it. One of the other things that I've been passionate about, I've been talking to other schools about trying to figure out how to do this, and I feel kind of terrible because most of the schools have partnered up, and we're kind of looking to work with another school as far as trying to give back to them somehow. And I know Roadrunner is a school that we've kind of talked about in the front office about doing something and helping them with our snowflake program that we do. And seeing if there's anything at all that we can do to partner with them. I would love to at least see if it's possible, because I feel like we, you know, maybe we can have something to offer them. And so we're just trying to look for a school that we can maybe do something with. Long term for me, it also, I want to give our teachers the exposure of working with and working in an environment where they may be completely different from their own, i.e. some type of title school. As someone who grew up teaching in title schools, I think there's a lot of things that we can borrow from some of those teaching techniques, and in particular the PBIS portion of what they do. Most title schools implement that as something that they use, and they are really versed in it. We're still in our infancy stages with our PBIS program. So. Oh, sorry. Don't talk in school jargon. It stands for Positive Behavior and Intervention Support, and it's our PAWS program, where we come up with the acronym, you know, polite, accountable, wise, safe, those types of things. And other schools are really versed in navigating those things and giving positive feedback to the students or positive redirections. And so I think there's opportunity there with some type of exchange them, they can come observe us, we can sit down and share ideas.
And we just got a merit award, right?
We did,
For that?
yeah. We did get an award, and it's basically for our initial rollout. And so that's really good, even though they misspelled our name. And so they're gonna have to bring us
We need a bigger plaque.
a new plaque. But it's a really good sign that we're on this journey. And so for me, it's kind of getting the staff to start looking at what's next. And what's next in particular is focusing on what's called Tier 2 interventions. Tier 1 is like what you would do for everyone in the school, right? So like our PAWS program, our PBIS program, having a classroom management system, everyone has one. Doing those types of things. Tier 2 is when you start to focus on individual students who aren't having success behaviorally, and you try to give them some individual attention. So like things like what's called a check-in, check-out program. That would be where a student meets with a trusted adult, someone that and it not necessarily has to be the teacher. So for instance, this week I've started meeting with 2 young men, and I'm their point person, and we're kind of checking in at the beginning of the day and the end of the day to see how they're doing. So things like that would be an example of Tier 2, and we're sending our staff to a district training coming up right after the holidays at the district level for some Tier 2 intervention help. So we're kind of really focusing on that here at the school. Moby Max, I wanted to update you on Moby Max. We had a tutorial not too long ago at one of our last staff meetings. Since then, I think that's really helped because I've noticed an uptick in teachers getting on the program, using it. It's a really cool program because you can target specific gaps for the students. And it breaks it down into state standards. So you can actually go in there and see, you do a pre-assessment, they take a test, and know where the kids' holds are, and give them specific things that will address that. And so it's really kind of targeted, and I'm glad the teachers are starting to use that more. So we've been kind of pushing for that. Marcy and I in the front office trying to get them on there, and they've been doing it. For the most part, it's been improved. So that's really good. The last kind of updating thing I think is we have successfully lobbied the district for additional funds to post for a additional fair in our building, specifically to support us with our most troubled group, our kindergarten students, believe it or not. And so we just conducted interviews for that yesterday, and we'll be making a decision soon. And look forward to trying to get some extra support for those kiddos at that grade level who need a little bit more kind of one-on-one attention and focus. And so that will, I think that'll be a really good thing overall, because we definitely could use a little bit more support there. So,
How many pairs do we have currently?
off the top of my head, I think what?
We don't have any one-on-one here.
Okay,
No.
so this would be a different,
Yes.
okay.
Not one-on-one. This position would be specifically working with about 3 kids that we've highlighted based on their frequent visits.
That's not why we want
I don't know. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing. So I think it's really exciting. Gives us a little bit more flexibility with the other pairs as well. So we can kind of move some people's schedules around and try to address some of our specific needs. So,
Awesome.
yeah. That's all I got for you.
That's all you got? Anybody have anything for George?
Yeah.
I have a question. Have we closed down open enrollment for 6th grade yet? Because every classroom has 32 kids in it at this point.
Open enrollment is an interesting beast. It's not closed ever, really, truly.
Okay.
I mean, I can say it's closed.
Well, some
But
schools
in-
have posted they closed theirs down.
Right,
so-
I know. But we technically have room. So like 6th grade, you can have a maximum of up to 35
Mhm.
or 36.
Right.
So we're not truly closed. Now, the way that I look at it is I don't want class sizes to be too big because that becomes detrimental for everyone and everybody loses once you get to a certain point. When I've been a teacher in a classroom with 36 students, It's not fun. So in my mind, it's closed, but there's some situations where someone moves into the neighborhood, doesn't matter, we can't not accept it.
Right.
And that's different from open enrollment. So the students who are coming through open enrollment in those big grade level classes, I have stopped accepting open enrollments for quite some time. But we are getting quite a bit of people moving in to the catchment. And so we don't have a choice, we have to accept that. And that's an interesting thing that I was kind of debating talking about here today, because we do have new developments going on. And we're already a big, big school. There are some elementary schools with far less students who have full-time APs. And so I'm finding myself stretched a little thin with the amount of students that we have now, and envisioning a future where we could have an influx of students based on these developments. Another interesting thing that I think you all should kind of be aware of is when they kind of do this, I don't know what's the phrase, it's not like rezoning, but as they introduce this new school, they're gonna be looking at borders and figuring out who's gonna go where. I would just kind of pay attention to that. Katie at the middle school is on one of the committees, and so I'm gonna reach out to her and just make sure that we are aligned.
So also, the PTO residents from their surrounding schools are also getting a committee together. Kate is going to be on that committee.
We'll meet with Dr. Wilson.
That's amazing. I mean, you know, it's really good to have our input there. As I said, right now, I think we're close to 750, very close to we're very close to 760 students. And so, depending on how things shake out or what developments come up, or we could be looking at 800 plus students here in the blink of an eye next year. And I don't know what that would do to our class sizes, to our staff. And so I would just pay attention to that. Yeah, that's a great question.
It's the new school.
Sky Crossing, but it's not set to be open until 2021, right, I believe? But they're looking at boundaries now because I was at a Biggles with Board meeting, the school district, and they were already talking about their kids were going here because they were being told that as soon as that school was open, they could then shift into this new school at the Sky Crossing, and they were telling them openly, there's no guarantees of who will get to go there other than the children that are in that, yeah, exactly. So, and people are also thinking high school, you know, and junior high, and where do we buy a home for our 5-year-old so that we can guarantee that they go to Pinnacle High School, and that's a lot. So it's a big, big conversation, and I'm glad that they're letting people, families, and people be a part of the conversation.
It can have an impact on where our students go to high school now. You know? So if you've been traditionally going to Pinnacle, you could end up going somewhere else, which is a huge deal for a lot of families. Any other questions?
So, I feel like this pales in comparison to something like that discussion, but I was just curious about pest control. So, you know, I have a second grader who doesn't always tell exactly a real story, so I have to like, that filter, yeah. He claimed there were black widows in the playground the other day. I was like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, 2 egg sacs. I was like, okay, well, I don't know. So I was like, well, actually, I mean, he has had bug bites before. I'm like, now black widow is a whole nother version. But I was like, I will ask on his behalf.
That's spider.
He was very concerned. I was like, I'll ask on his behalf, and I can assure him that, you know, that there's a bug guy. But I was like, what does that look like in a school? I mean, how would you control something on the field? That's okay, yes.
There was a spider.
Oh.
It was not a black widow.
Okay. Oh, so this was a big event. Oh, okay, all right.
Yes, and we called the custodian down, and he came, and he got caught, and we turned into kind of a scientist.
Okay, all right.
No, it's not a black widow.
Yeah.
But as far as pest control goes, we have a book where anytime there's any kind of, like if we're seeing, you know, more cobwebs or whatever, we write it in there, whatever we're seeing. They come out and they'll treat certain areas more.
Yeah.
But they do come out monthly and treat.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
they
I
are
will assure him that
constantly
it's,
here. I'm seeing him all the time. But
well
if I have a
maintained.
specific concern or if somebody's brought something to my attention, I make
Right.
sure that he's aware of that.
Okay, all right. Well, good to know that was just a
awesome
Legend.
imagination.
Legendary. Black Widow that didn't exist. Black Spider. Okay, well, thank you.
That's an interesting thing too. It's like, I feel like there's ways that the district could do the maintenance of the building better.
Yeah.
I'm accustomed to having like 2 custodians in a building, one during the day and one at night. And so we don't have that because we have like a company that works to clean up the building. And so there's some disconnect there with some things that we would like to get done, not
Yeah.
get done.
Right.
Yeah.
I think piggybacking off of that, I'm hearing concerns about cockroaches in the bathrooms. Like, I've got 2 daughters that at this point don't drink at school because they don't want to go in the bathroom. So I'm like, really, they're not gonna hurt you, it's okay, but they're anti, right? And so, okay, well, that's your choice. And I don't know if other folks are hearing that, because again, is it 2 girls that
Right.
saying if they
No,
don't want
no, no.
cockroaches, they hate
That was
cockroaches?
real.
Yeah.
I've heard that before I even got here. But we usually, we work to try to kill it, and our custodian's amazing. We've been really fortunate to have a really good person in that position. And we just try to deal with it as fast as we can, as much as we can. Short of that, I don't really know what else to do, to be honest with you.
How do you handle cockroach? I don't even know. Is it like a bomb? Like, do they take
Well, in a
things?
school, it's a very different ballgame than like
Yeah.
at home.
Sure, 'cause
At
of-
home, I'd be pouring bleach down the drain. At
Right.
school, we can't use bleach.
Sure.
So it's a little different. I've been working with the pest guy, and he's, out here treating and doing his thing.
Sure.
But please know that if anybody comes to the office, as soon as they come in and they say there's a report of cockroach, either Tyler or I are in that bathroom, and we will hunt that guy down. And we will
Smash it.
Right.
not just scare him away, we find him, and I've had my fair share, so, yeah. So, don't worry, the girls are hiding, behind me, and then they scream, and I'm like, don't scare me when I'm trying to save your life. We try to make it kind of fun, because I know some of the kids are more nervous about it.
Is there a way to put like a thin mesh? Like I know you have to have it where water can go down, but you put like a thin mesh besides the bigger grates.
Tyler and I have been working on some solutions. Yeah.
It's one of those things where,
It's
a lot-
just seasonal too sometimes.
Yeah,
you
you
know,
don't-
it's the
we don't really
Well,
pay
especially
attention to
when we
that stuff.
first come back to school, because the school's sitting all summer, I
Right.
think you see a little bit more.
At our, where our ice cream social, I was standing next to a fire extinguisher, so it was out of the wall, kind of just, and I looked over my shoulder and there was literally one eye level with me. And here I am as all of these new parents are coming in full on, where do I go, where are all these things? And I'm like, hold on. And then I scooped it up and I quick ran to the nearest restroom.
In your hand?
In my hands, to the nearest restroom, and I go in and I flush it, and I come out, and this boy goes, "Why are you in the boys' bathroom?" Sorry, I'm sorry.
I'm so impressed.
I know, I panicked, it was mostly panic. Yeah.
And we do it really gross.
I'm really grossed out right now.
Sorry.
Right? I'm like, please don't touch me, Kate. Why are you sitting next to me? All right. Well,
Thank you.
Yeah.
all right, moving on from cockroaches. If you guys can look at the sheet that's double-sided, that's the BCS General PTO meeting from September 17th. I just need 2 people to read over those and approve those from that meeting.
I move to approve.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
They were speed readers. Okay, so we don't have a lot going on tonight. I'm gonna let Kate go first.
I'm talking about UPC, right?
You're talking about UPC and anything else you like.
All right. Has everyone here heard of UPC, United Parent Council? Is that something? Okay. So it is an amazing thing within our district that was formed to bridge the gap between parents and the school board. And they work very closely with the school board to kind of bring parents to the table in all of the decision-making or feedback, and then they also take what the board is trying to implement for the school or share the information, and then they go out and they pass it on to our schools. We have parent reps at our school that go to the meetings, and then they report back to us, and So their November snapshot, if you will, had some really cool information, and I just kind of wanted to share it with you guys. They're open meetings. They have, I think they're monthly. They have a lot of really cool speakers that they bring in. They oftentimes address cyberbullying and drug awareness. Recently, they just
Last
had
month,
one
it
about
was about the
special.
new math curriculum.
Yep.
The one in December is.
Special education, right?
What?
Yeah, so bringing parents together and explaining what's available for them within the district, and then other different opportunities for parents that are looking for those things. So some of the things that they wanted to talk about were, there were some high schools within our district that received the National Merit finalists. Horizon High School, Paradise Valley High School, Pinnacle High School, and Shadow Mountain. The district is doing well on ACTs. Let me just get back to important things. As you may have heard, there was a recent bond vote that was tagged to bring extra funds to the schools in our district, and that was approved. And so that was really, really wonderful, and that will open up a lot of opportunities that the school will need for the next coming school year, correct? Okay. Much needed funds, and it's super exciting that those are going to be there. There is a dress code task force that they are going to be looking at potential changes to the district guidelines of dress code, and there is for elementary, middle, and high school, and it will be implemented, whatever changes and revisions they make will be implemented in the 2021 school year. I'm sure that it'll be fabulous. Teachers and staff appreciation, that's not any of our people's. But there is an opportunity if we have any teachers you want to nominate. In February, the UPC opens up a teacher and administration award, and you can write in and you can talk about how fabulous any and all of our teachers and staff are, and they will be recognized, which we have so many of them, and we definitely want to do that. So we'll shout it out when the window opens up and give you guys the ability to call out our awesome staff. Special education, they're going to have Special Olympics, developing a needs list and a donation box at future UPC meetings, because we do host a Special Olympics within our school district, and it's a really special event. We'll also be looking for volunteers, and then we'll share that information for any parents that want to be involved in it.
Are kids allowed to volunteer too, or just parents?
I don't know the specifics about what they're looking for yet, so once we know, they haven't sent out like a sign up yet, but once we do, we'll share it with everybody.
Usually, special ed is pretty open to kids, all they do.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't know if they've tagged certain age groups or
Right,
people, but once they do, we'll definitely let you know. Looks like it's going to be. Nope, no information there. And there's a lot of no reports. That's wonderful. Oh, there is a vendor showcase. So that happens in February, the end of February. And what that is they bring in school support, and you can kind of speak to that about what it is specifically, but what it is it allows parent groups within the school to go there and see what type of fundraising, what type of programs are available to bring into the school, and you get a chance to interact and speak with those companies and find out if it's a good match for your school and bring it back to the school to vote on it. And that's in February also, so it's always a really fun thing, because get some swag, and you get
Win some prizes.
You win some prizes, and you make some connections about,
Lots of samples.
wow,
It's
this,
fun.
yeah, so that, if anybody, I'm sure it's open to whoever wants to go.
So those are vendors that may or may not already be working in PB schools that just want to be.
Can be guest speakers, not my kid.
Right.
You know, stuff like that.
Yeah, so some of them we would never exclude if somebody had used them already.
Let's see, I think, there's some really cool kind of things too. Roadrunner shop donation, and I don't know, this isn't something that the board has shared, but it's a neat thing about, that Roadrunner is a school that works with, help me here, special alternative education paths for a lot of the kids in our school district. And they're very, very good at what they do, and it's a special school that we like to be involved with. And they had a bingo night, and they don't have a PTO, so they had a bingo night. So a lot of people gathered together a bunch of items to donate to their bingo night so that they had things to raffle for their bingo night. They also have a thing called Roadrunner Shop, so it's similar to our holiday shop, but they're asking for donations for those items so that the students, they can earn points to go in and purchase gifts for their family or for them for the holidays. So good behavior, good actions, they get points to take into the Roadrunner Shop as holiday gifts. They're seeking donations for that. If anybody's interested, I'm happy to transport them. And I believe that it's something that we might even put a box out to help. There's also, do you know much about the PVSEA boutique? Is it local?
It is local. I forget what location it is. It's in December, but it's gonna be different, like craft vendors and, I even think some maybe district employees who make their home crafts, so like any kind of vendor fair. So you can go and.
I sell lip sense, so is there a way to sign up if there's not a lip sense person?
I would assume, yes.
I can get you
If
some.
there's already someone there, then I can't do it,
Yeah.
so we just don't do that.
Yeah, and this is through the United Parent
Come to
Council.
our carnival and have a booth.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I can get you, I mean, the UPC is the one that's putting on this specific event, so you can find out and I'll give you their contact information. But I would definitely encourage you to, they have a Facebook page, so you can find out about all their cool guest speakers that they have, and they offer a lot of really wonderful things to our school district.
Thank you. Kara.
So one of the handouts you might have grabbed is our current profit and loss statement. It's double-sided, and then the page attached is just our assets and liabilities as current. I highlighted our most recent fundraisers on the agenda. So our book fair did very well. We earned over $5,000 in Scholastic dollars. And if you're unfamiliar with the way we choose to do the book fair, we work with Scholastic, and then schools have the option of taking either 25% in cash as profit or 50% of the earnings in Scholastic dollars. So we've always taken the Scholastic dollars, and then we have the opportunity to help our teachers buy books for their classrooms. We give them as prizes throughout the year. So that was wonderful. Our Peter Piper Pizza fundraiser, raised over $600. Our Dollar Days, which so far have been our SMENs and our Costume Day, did very well. We've had McTeacher Night. Kelly, thank you so much for organizing that. And then also Cards for a Cause. Kelly, thank you for that too. And then at the bottom of the agenda are all the upcoming things. We'll have one more Spirit Night this semester.
Like December 5th.
Yep. We have our holiday shop. We have quite a few things coming. Harkins Cups. Every year in December, we sell the Harkins Cups, where you go to Harkins and the next year you can get refills. The refills are now going to be $2 instead of $1.50, and the cups are now $6.75, where at least when it started $6 or $5. So the information, order forms, hopefully are coming out the end of this week by way of our teachers, and then they're due December 6th to turn in. And so we should have all the orders to you by the end of the following week.
It's a cool holiday present. You know, you can put a gift card or some movie snacks in there, and it's a cool present to give to some people, which is, I think, why we tend to do so well in it, because it's a neat thing, because we get a portion of it as well as you're able to give a fun present.
That's it for you. All right. Lisa.
All right, fundraising. We are busy working on our carnival right now. That's our main focus. We have a small group of us who are going around and trying to get donations from all businesses. So once again, if you or anyone you know would like to donate, please reach out to me.
I do hair too, so I'll do.
Perfect, we love it. We take anything and everything. We're just gonna put them in baskets, and then the day of carnival, before the carnival, we'll pre-sale some tickets so you can do raffles. Last year we did an auction.